Hey Beer Nation, today's episode we're celebrating St. Patty's Day with my special guest, Professor Hops. We're going to focus our show on a couple of red ales that pay tribute to the Irish St. Patrick's Day celebration. We completely disagree on which one is better. And Professor Hops tells us what happened today in beer history. Test your beer knowledge with my quiz and so much more. Stay tuned. Warning, what you're about to watch is purely for my own mental well-being. But let's face it, it's some pretty funny stuff. You're about to witness a crazy diva hitting her midlife crisis, and it's all on camera with a little help from her friends. Viewer discretion is not advised. Beer Divas, 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 Beer Divas. Welcome to the Beer Divas Show, where wine is dumb and the craft beer world has taken over the dull American beer scene once and for all. I'm your host, Dr. Brewski, and today we have my special guest, Professor Hop.
Yeah.
Hey, Professor, how are you?
I am wonderful, Dr. Brewski. How are you?
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
St. Patrick's Day, yes!
I'm ringing the bell for beer.
Yes. I don't have anything fun. Wait, I have a
easy button. Nice.
Gotta motivate my learners, you know?
That's right. All of your students, you gotta get on the St. Patty's Day bandwagon, right?
Yes.
Okay. I love your green boa and your green glasses. Those look awesome. Today I've got my Lucky Shamrock.
Yeah.
And my black boa. So I'm a little mysterious with a little kiss me I'm Irish kind of thing.
Yeah,
I need
you're
to get
looking
one of those
very
t-shirts.
Yeah. You're looking very hot and mysterious.
Next year, kiss me I'm Irish shirts. We got it.
Yeah.
I want to do a shout out to you, Professor. So right before this show, we got together so we could choose what beers we were going to drink. And you got me this awesome St. Patty's Day, what do you call them, a koozie?
Yes.
I love it.
And
so once I open this second one up, I'm going to put the little koozie condom on that.
Me too.
Woo!
Dr. Brewski, do you realize we have seen each other 5 different times this week, one way or another? That is the highlight of my COVID existence. That's a highlight. I haven't done something like that since college, unless it's a coworker.
I know. That's why I wanted to start this show, is to bring people together over a nice brewski, right?
Yes.
All right, Professor Hops, are you ready for my favorite segment of the show?
Yes!
Beer review.
Woo!
It's beer review time. All right, we have 2 beers. Now, this is the St. Patty's Day edition, right? And so we're going to, Ireland and, with all the green and, the luck of the Irish and all of that kind of thing. Well, traditionally you'd be drinking, one of their most favorite beers, and that is Guinness, which is a stout, okay? But we just did a stout on our last show, right? And everybody knows what Guinness tastes like, okay? I mean, I do enjoy a good Guinness. It's creamy. It's smooth and, tastes real good. And especially if you do some kind of black and tan with it, I mean, it is amazing. However, we got to bring something different to the Beer Diva show, right? So we can't go with the Smithwicks and the Guinness and all of that. So what we decided to do, we found a couple of red ales that were based on the Irish red ales. And these are Ohio beers, just because the store that we went to, they didn't have a lot of Irish stock. They had more German stuff than they did anything else. So we're going to stick with a couple of the local people and give them a taste test. So why don't we start off with our Shae, which is a local brewery here in Akron. And they have one of my favorite beers, Professor Hops, which you haven't drank yet. And once COVID kind of, lets up and we can get out and actually sample some stuff, you will be blown away by their orange mango shandy. I call it the Shango, and it is one of my favorite beers of all time. I go back just for the orange mango shandy. Not that they don't have
over and over and over again. We've been talking about it for 3 years.
At least 2 years, maybe 3.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, I'm thinking.
So I have tried a ton of their other beers, but I get the small little sampler size, and then I get a nice regular pint size of the orange mango shandy.
Yes,
because I know it's going to be delish.
And the doctor and I love our shandies. We love them.
That's right. And you will be just blown away with this. So at some point, I already emailed our Shae. At some point, we're going to be there. So then you can taste it live.
Yes, we will be.
Fresh. It's only on draft, folks. There's so much.
I want draft beer.
That's right.
Draft
Me too.
beer.
So we're going to try their red ale, and it's called the Irish Red Light. It's got an ABV of 6.2%. Okay, hey, let's do it. Crack it open, girl.
And you know how my brain works. You said red light, and I'm like, are we talking about the red light district? Are we taking a walk on our...
Whoa,
oh, it smells good from the can. All right, I am going to pour right-handed. So hopefully I do a little bit better.
Yeah, not so much head. Wow, this just looks great. The color, reddish amber.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. Now smell it.
Yes.
Very crisp, caramely smell.
Yes, and like so fresh. Yes.
Almost like a Pilsner smell.
I agree.
All right, let's taste.
All right, cheers, girly.
Cheers, hun. Mmm.
Very good.
Very nice.
It's very light, but it still has a lot of flavor.
Mm-hmm. Not bitter at all. I've had other red ales before, and of course we're gonna compare it to this guy, which is from Boulevard next. But wow, this is a tasty beer.
It is.
I grew up back in the 90s, like college age kind of thing, where Killian's was very popular. I don't even know if they still make it anymore. But
maybe we should do a
mother always drank Killian's. Loved it. Have you had Killian's?
Back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And Foster's and Red Stripe then. And
I love the Red Stripe from Jamaica. Yes. I've actually had Red Stripe in Jamaica, and it is amazing.
Hey, another trip. We're going to start our list of trips.
Oh my God. So good. Yeah. And the rum, of course, is excellent.
Oh, yes.
So very light, a little dry. It doesn't linger on your tongue very much at all.
No. But it's sort
of stops.
Yeah. And I sort of wish it would linger a little more.
Maybe it almost dries my mouth out.
Yes.
You have the cotton mouth. I
Yeah.
have cotton mouth. I need to go get some cotton balls or something put in my mouth.
Oh. See, they need to see us. I do too. I like
it. This is what I would consider a typical red ale, an Irish red ale. Very light, caramely. You've got the strong amber color. That's typical. It's the carbonation is nice. It's not overly carbonated, but it's also not too like flat where it doesn't do anything to your tongue. You know what I mean? Kind of tingles on the
bubbles
tongue. Ooh, tingly on the tongue. I love it. I would totally drink this.
I would too.
I'm telling you, this is delicious. And I
could drink
nothing else.
More of them.
Oh, I could drink.
I could drink this all night.
Yep. And what's nice about our Shae is they'll actually pour it in a can for you, fresh from the tap, and you can take it home.
That's nice, because too many places you have to commit to a growler or
Nope, they'll can it. They'll can it right there, and they also have like a small little cooler that has certain types in there, whatever's on tap, and you can just go and grab too. But if you want a fresh one, they'll can
which
it right
we
there
do.
For you.
We want fresh beer, and we cannot
love fresh beer. Particularly me, I'm a draft girl, so I want as fresh as it can possibly be.
Yes. Like, you know, that feeling when you go in and you see the beer you want, and then you see somebody getting the last of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, but then you see them scuttling around and they're changing the keg. I'll tell you, right before COVID,
right before COVID started, I took a trip, got off early from work, took a trip to our Shae. I am like, I need an orange mango shandy. And we were supposed to be going to Germany for their beer fest, right? So I wanted to get myself a little bit, get my liver used to, drinking some fine brewskis.
Yes.
And same thing happened to me. It was like they started pouring my beer, and I saw all this like foam, and I went, woo! And she goes, no, don't worry, honey. And she went one handle down. They had already set it up, and I got my fresh brewski right away. They didn't even mess around. Like they had the backup to the backup.
That's perfect. Because I've always had to wait for them to switch it. And I will. Yeah. When it's the beer I want, I'll be like, I'm not going anywhere. And then sometimes, I get in trouble. I'm like, okay, I'll do a shot in the meantime.
I understand. Well, I didn't even have to wait. It was like pimp, man. They were like,
Doc.
Oh, no, honey. And they just moved right over. And I said, oh, thank y'all. Okay. Let me write down my rating here.
All right. I'm doing the same.
Professor Hops, your rating on the Irish Red Light by Shae Brewing is?
It is 9.3.
9.3. Woo! Bring it.
Yes.
Wow.
You know I love some ales. And a red ale. And a local brewery doing it the Irish way. Can't beat it. Yes.
Man, on draft, I know the next time we go and this is on draft, I'm getting a full one of this.
Yeah.
Next year.
Next year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. My rating is 9.3 also.
So weird. Dr. Bruce, we are always on the same. Yeah. That's us. And
totally had it written down before you even said it. I love it.
I can't believe it, because you can see I did not change it.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay, so the audience is going to be going, okay, we need some new people because they like the same stuff. Yes.
Okay, so let's cleanse our palate.
Cheers.
Cheers, honey. That was so awesome. I love that, and I will enjoy partaking in that after the show. Woo!
Yes. Yes.
All right. Our second beer is by Boulevard, and they're somewhere in Ohio also. It's called the Irish Ale, and it's a red ale also, and it's 5.8% ABV. There you go. You're a little closer than I am. Yeah, that looks good. Thank you, Vanna. Okay. I'm going to use my Mr. Fancy
Yes.
bottle opener that he got me. Did you see what it said? It said, "I love you more than you love beer." And that's so sweet.
That just makes me melt.
Mr. Fancy.
Yes.
All right, let's pop it open.
I had to cheat this time because there's the whole.
Yeah, you couldn't find your opener.
No.
Okay.
Middle-aged. It's open. It's open now.
Let's pour
All right,
it.
we are pouring.
A little different smell.
It is. More of a head popped up, and I did a good job pouring.
Yeah. I think it's about the same color. Of course, I drank almost all of the Shae, but
wait. I can do a side by side.
Okay, go over some more. Okay, that one might be a little darker.
It is a little darker.
This one's a little darker.
Yes.
It smells a little more
Boulevard.
hoppy. It smells a little
hoppier.
And sweeter taste. Or smell, I mean. That could be.
Yeah,
and
I knew what you were saying. Okay. Known each other too long.
You know.
Yes. Autocraft.
All right.
For Dr. Brisky. All right.
Wow, a different profile.
Yes.
I think it's a little fruitier.
Yes. And a little more body. It's a little. The taste is more, hi, I'm right here.
Just a little stronger. Now it still has that dryness where my tongue feels like it's cotton again, just like the Shae.
Yes, I'm starting to do that. Don't spray. We don't waste beer. You know that.
That's right. That's right.
And we don't waste coffee either.
Let me look. This one's actually less percent alcohol than Shae. And see, I don't think it tastes like that.
No.
Because remember we did the double chocolate stout, the double cherry chocolate stout by Hoppin' Frog on our last show. And you could almost taste that, like that alcohol-y. I mean, it was 8%, right?
Yes.
And I would think that this one would have been more than Shae because it has that type of flavor. But Shae is actually higher in alcohol content than this is. This is 5.8%, and this is over 6%. So it's not a big difference, but it's still a little bit more.
Right. But this, to me, like you said, it tastes like it is the higher content, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And it's leaving more of a taste. It's not a bad aftertaste. It's not a bad aftertaste, but I still know what I drank. And I like that.
Yeah, the Shae it left your palate immediately. It was dry pretty much from the get-go. Yeah. And that's okay by me. But this one definitely lingers a little bit more. It was dry at the beginning, but then after you have a few sips, it seems like the rest of my mouth is dry, but now I'm like watering extra.
I am too.
I'm feeling it.
I'm getting yes.
The salivary glands are working.
Oh, they are. They were working earlier too.
I like it. It's lighter.
I do too.
But I think it has a little bit more, I don't know how to describe it.
It's more flavorful. A little bit
more fruitier of a flavor.
Yes. There's more of the fruit. Again, the audience will know this is not a very hoppy ale because
no, definitely an amber red ale.
Yes. Yes.
Typical ale, but it definitely is different. So
yes,
they're
it's not as cutting as some of the ales I've had.
That's right. I don't know what the difference is between what yeast they use compared to each other.
Yeah.
Or maybe the actual grain that they use. Do they use a mixture of something? A rye and a barley? Do they roast it a little bit? I mean, it's got to be roasted or something because it's a darker color. So I'm not quite sure, but I know when we take our tours of the breweries coming up, I'm going to ask them specifically, how do you get the amber color? And usually it's either the specific malt, which is the grain that's fermented or unmalted, not fermented. It's either the grain that they use that produces the color, or it's them actually roasting or controlling that color of the actual grain, and then that shows up in the actual beer afterwards.
Yes.
So I don't know what the difference is, but we're going to investigate and find out.
We are.
Yay! Okay, Professor Hops, what is your review? What's your rating?
My review, 9.6.
Whoa, 9.6. That's amazing. So you really like this beer.
I really did. I can't believe I liked it more than the Shae, but I did. And I realized I tracked my scores on the wrong sheet because I don't have my readers on.
You got your beer goggles on.
I do have my beer goggles on.
Love it. Okay, so my rating of the Boulevard Irish Ale is 8.9.
Oh.
See, I didn't like it as much. It's still wonderful. I would totally drink this if I were, at a bar, at a club, whatever, they had that on tap or with a meal. But I kind of like the more smoother, when it's in there and then it's gone, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, of the Shae.
I want it to linger and last a long time this time.
Hit it and leave it, baby. All right, Professor Hops, we're going to talk about this day in beer history. Coming up next.
Hear ye, the Beer Diva Court is now in session. Presiding is the Honorable Dr. Brewski.
It's against the law to sit on the curb of any street in the city of St. Louis while drinking beer from a bucket. And that's the verdict.
I hope everybody is ready to learn, or maybe you already knew this great fact. So we are traveling back in time as I give you a history lesson. However, it has to be about beer. So on this day in 1935, Gottfried Kruger Brewing Company of Richmond, Virginia, delivered 2,000 cans of Kruger's finest beer and Kruger's cream ale to the beer drinking public. Now, here's the key point. It was the first time an American brewery offered beer in cans.
Wow, what year was that?
That was 1935.
Okay. So around the, post World War One.
Right post Prohibition. Remember, when did Prohibition end?
1933.
Very good.
Yay.
Yay.
My beer facts, my beer trivia facts are seeping into the old noggin.
Yes.
So they probably had, after the war, they probably had a surplus of canned kind of materials, the aluminum and all of that, because, that's what they were making weapons with and, whatever else there, even food rations for the army and, all of the troops.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if it was probably cheaper to get that stuff. And they figured, let's put our fine spirits into using that material. Cans. Yes. Wow, that's interesting. I love it.
It is.
I'm going to pour myself a little bit more of this fine Irish ale.
I will follow you back to the Shaes.
Yeah, so good.
Yes. So I'm not going to clean my palate this time. I'm going to do
tricky.
Okay, I'm at the bar. I'm rotating beers. I'm working my way down.
That's good. Keep it going, Professor
Some bars
Hobbs.
that's scary to talk about, like 69 taps. But no,
now,
I haven't.
I know I didn't tell you this, but guess what time it is? It's quiz time!
It's quiz time, quiz time, quiz time, quiz time.
Okay, so I only have 2 questions, and they have a lot to do with, things that I ask both of us to, information that we have to list for each beer. Okay?
Right.
And I totally botched this up. I totally forgot what each one meant, and I kind of reversed them. So we're going to do the quiz right now.
All right.
So the first question is, ABV means what?
Alcohol.
Hold on. A bitchy vampire. B, alcohol by volume. Or C, absolutely bodacious vixen. What is ABV?
I actually knew that one. I was getting ready to actually say it.
Mm-hmm.
Be proud of me. Because we know my squirrels don't always let me retain information.
So what does ABV mean?
Alcohol by volume.
Yeah, nice. See, I thought it was the second one, okay? So the second one is IBU. What does that stand for? Is it an STD? B, the newest dance craze? Or C, amount of hops added?
I better go with C, even though the other ones were too good.
Oh, you're correct. It's the International Bittering Unit. So it's the amount of hops that's added that gives it the bitterness. So your IPAs, your pale ales, any of your triples, doubles, all of that are going to have a higher IBU because they're more bitter. There's more hops added to that brew. All right, Professor Hobbs, that is about it for today. I'm so glad you came. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for seeing me 5 times this week.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, the girls are getting in trouble again.
That's right. All right, that's it for the show today. Hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss any episodes. I'm going to ask you the question, what's your favorite beer? drop it in the comments below. If you'd like to be on the Beer Divas show, or you're a beer rep, or you own a brewery and you would love for me to come and sample some of your tasty beverages, hit me up in the comments below. And remember, don't worry, be happy.